morning we were discussing how climate change is affecting sports in terms of sports organization and sports participation. Do our sports organizers consider, do they take into account the climate change and its effect before fixing the time, the city they pick, and consider how the whole climate change will affect the performance of the players and the athletes? Then, beyond that, how can we use sports to help mitigate, create awareness for climate change and help mitigate climate change issues? Our stadia, do we have trees around it? We are saying green Ghana. What is happening in our stadium? Our stadium, what is happening? They are all bare. How are we protecting our players? How can we use sports as a group, as a whole field to create awareness and push for some policies, some changes that will help mitigate the effect of climate change? That is what we discussed this morning and we'll continue to discuss. We need to start from somewhere, and we have started from somewhere this morning.
Thank you very much. As you can see, the program has been a huge success. In fact, when we consider the current changing trends in our sporting sector, there is a need for us to be dynamic. One of the things that affects sports participation and performance is climate change. So how do we abreast ourselves with the necessary knowledge that will impact into organization of sporting events? How do we even get the knowledge to even impact in construction of sports facilities? How do we even plan our sporting program? All those things are very key. And today we have learned a lot that one, climate change cut across all aspects of life, including the sports, and that we can also use sports to mitigate against climate change, educating people on what climate change is all about and how we should position ourselves when it comes to organizing our sporting activities. So on a whole, it has been good. The resource person has been phenomenal, and participants are happy that today they have been able to learn a lot that will impact positively in their organization of sporting activities in the region and then elsewhere. So we are grateful to God for what He has done for us this day.
My name is Isinam Luchu, Assistant Headmistress Administration, Fiasman Senior High School, and also the PE teacher of the school. Yeah, this program on climate change and sports, it has been very, very useful. We know a lot about climate change, but relating it to sports, that is something that we have not been able to do. So coming here, we've had a very broad knowledge about the importance of this climate change and its effects on the sporting activities that we are doing. Especially as PE teachers, we have to know that we have to reschedule our PE, especially the practical activities, from the afternoons to the early mornings, so that the weather or the heat that is around in the afternoon will not have so much effect on the students. Then also in organizing competitions, we have to reschedule some of the programs so that some activities that are sent in the afternoon, we have to bring them in the morning. Then our clothing as well. A lot of things have to change because we know that those nylon and then those silk that mostly all the schools are using, they generate heat, which also have an effect on these children. Sometimes they also incur some heat stroke during the performance of their activities. So therefore, there is a need for us to change all our clothing. A lot of things have to change because we know that those nylon and then those silk that mostly all the schools are using, they generate heat, which also have an effect on these children. Sometimes they also incur some heat stroke during the performance of their activities. So therefore, there is a need for us to change all our clothing from this nylon and then silk to cotton, which is going to help the children from not getting this kind of heat stroke. So in fact, I'm very privileged to be part of this all-important program. So when I go out there, I'll have to first of all inform my headmaster that when we came, this is what we have learned. and therefore there is the need for us to inculcate it in whatever that we are doing in the school so far as our sporting activities are concerned. Nylon and